I'll never forget the night I decided to take a stand against my mom's obsessive monitoring of my every move. It was a typical Tuesday evening when she dropped the bombshell. She had installed a family safety app on my phone, giving her access to my location, messages, photos, and even my social media drafts. I felt like I was living with a stalker, and the thought of her reading my private conversations and responding to my friends pretending to be me was unbearable. At first, I tried to brush it off, thinking that maybe this would calm her down and give her the reassurance she needed. But things only got worse. She would text me in the middle of conversations, asking who I was with, what I was doing, and where I was going. She'd comment on memes I hadn't even posted yet, and even started replying to my friends' messages, pretending to be me. My friends would call me, confused, asking why I was texting like a total weirdo. I had to think fast and come up with excuses, trying to play it cool while dying of embarrassment inside. But the final straw came when she started showing up at places I was hanging out, uninvited and unannounced. I was at the mall with my friends, and suddenly she appeared out of nowhere, asking what I was doing and who I was with. I was mortified. That's when I knew I had to take matters into my own hands. I started brainstorming ways to prove to my dad that my mom's behavior was getting out of control. I knew he was aware of her paranoia, but I don't think he realized the extent of it. So, I hatched a plan. I created a fake conversation with my friend Alex about an epic party happening at a remote location outside town. I made it sound exclusive and secretive, like something a paranoid mom would totally freak out about. I mentioned the address, a random dirt road I found on Google Maps that led to absolutely nothing. I talked about how it was starting at midnight, how everyone was going to be there, and how I couldn't wait to finally do something without my mom knowing. I knew my mom would take the bait, and sure enough, she did. She started reading our conversation, getting more and more agitated by the minute. I could sense her anxiety building, her mind racing with worst-case scenarios. And then, the unthinkable happened. At 2 a.m., I heard her bedroom door creak open, followed by the sound of the garage door. I knew she had fallen for it hook, line, and sinker. The next morning, I came downstairs to find my mom looking exhausted and embarrassed. My dad was visibly angry, and I could tell he had no idea what had gone down the night before. That's when I decided to reveal my plan. I calmly pulled out my phone and opened the message logs, showing my dad the entire conversation I had created. I showed him how my mom had been reading everything, how she had driven to the fake party based on fake messages I created just to prove a point. The look on my dad's face was a mix of shock, anger, and disappointment. He took my mom's phone, walked over to the kitchen counter, and factory reset it right there. The sound of it powering back up was music to my ears. From now on, he said, looking at both of us, you need to respect each other's boundaries. You can't just monitor each other's every move and expect everything to be okay. My mom tried to argue, but my dad shut it down. You drove into the middle of nowhere at 2 a.m. based on text messages. That's not normal behavior, and it's not healthy. In that moment, I realized that my mom's behavior was not just about her being overprotective, it was about her own fears and anxieties. She was scared of losing me, of not being able to control every aspect of my life. But in doing so, she was suffocating me, taking away my autonomy and my sense of self. I knew that I needed to have an open and honest conversation with her, to make her understand that I was capable of taking care of myself, that I didn't need her to monitor my every move. It wasn't easy, but we started having those conversations. My mom began to realize that her behavior was not only hurting me but also herself. She started therapy, learning to manage her anxiety and paranoia. It's been a long and difficult journey, but slowly, she's learning to let go. She's learning to trust me, to trust that I can make my own decisions and take care of myself. Looking back, I realized that I learned a valuable lesson that night. I learned that setting boundaries is not just about asserting oneself, it's about respecting the other person's autonomy and dignity. I learned that trust is a two-way street, that it requires effort and commitment from both parties. And I learned that sometimes, the hardest thing to do is to let go, to trust that the people we love can take care of themselves. As I reflect on that experience, I'm reminded of the importance of communication and empathy in relationships. I'm reminded that we all have our own struggles and fears, and that we need to approach each other with kindness and understanding. And I'm reminded that growth and change are possible, that we can overcome even the most deeply ingrained habits and behaviors. In the end, I'm grateful for that night, as difficult as it was. It taught me the value of standing up for myself, of asserting my boundaries and my autonomy. And it taught me the importance of empathy and compassion, of understanding and respecting the people we love.